Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Wednesday's Talking Town, the whole reaction, more in depth, and of course, we'll look ahead to the weekend with Preston North End, the visitors to Portman Road, but we'll start, as always, with the game that was last night, and Finch's got kicking us off with Town were absolutely majestic last night. What a performance. We want all your comments in. There'll be a link at some point as well for a couple of you to jump on and have your say this evening, because it was a fantastic evening. Town just purred the whole night, tamed the Tigers, as the Cruncher said in his 60-second roundup for social media. But we want to hear from you this evening. So get involved, get active in the live chat. As always, hit the like button and share to all your friends and family that Talking Town is live. After every game, I do ask you for your 3-word reviews. So I will be filtering those through in the course of the evening. We do welcome more as the live show unfolds. Kieran says, all I get still is it will slip by Christmas, but I can't see that happening. Peter says, how sad. Norwich are losing 1-0. Let's hope they lose by a few more. So 3-word reviews. We've got Ian G on Twitter, 17-point gap. Jamie, we are unstoppable. And Mark Moyle, Tigers effing mauled. And it was an absolute masterclass. Absolute masterclass. I can't believe just how good we were. A whole team coming in. 7, I think it was, unbeaten. 5th in the table. Made it look easy. Too easy in some spots. And it was just a fantastic night. Right, I'm joined by 2 people. We'll get one of them in. He stood in for me last night, so I thank him a lot for that. It is, of course, the media mogul. I haven't got his intro. Mr. Matt Phillips. Matt, how are you?
Good, thanks. How was your hospitality then? Tell us all about it.
So good. Thank you so much to Paul and Angela for gifting that opportunity to me. Just amazing. Town know how to play football, but B, do hospitality. It was amazing. I can't purr enough.
So for all of us in the cheap seats, or
well, they're not cheap, are they?
On the sofa.
On the sofa.
You get the meal in the price of the ticket, and you just pay for drinks and that, do you?
You do. That's correct. Yeah, you get a welcome drink, coffee at half time, sausage roll at half time, 2-course meal before the game. Matt, I had a beautiful biscuit at full time, like a coconut macaroon type. Oh, it was the best biscuit I've ever had in my life. I sent a message to Paul saying, if you get that after every game, I might have to move in to hospitality, because
just think if he was doing that during the Paul Lambert era, the food and that was probably the highlight of the day.
It would have been the highlight. It would have easily been the highlight. But yeah, you couldn't get any better. The game kicked off and Town burst into life, and it was amazing.
You're right behind that goal.
Both goals, yeah. We saw obviously Chaplin's lovely effort. We saw Burns's pile driver.
Very good.
And we saw Hadladki's absolute delicious through ball. We're almost right behind that, and you could see him see it and then execute it.
Lower tier, presumably, than I in there. I've never sat in there before.
Yes, lower tier towards the back, and actually,
it's all right,
it was a really good view. And fun fact is, Hadladki actually sort of was disappointed with himself for that through ball initially, because I think he wanted it as a direct through ball, and it obviously went away from goal, didn't it, a little bit? So he sort of banged his gloves like but Hurst did the rest, and then Harness.
All right.
It turns out beautifully, but I just love the perfection in the play where you put the ball through, but you're still not. It's not what you wanted. So it was like,
it's funny hosting these shows, isn't it? Like when I've hosted them in your absence, and obviously Rich is in the ground as well. It's like the positivity just radiates. Now, when I think back to when we started this, and we was like under Marcus Evans and Paul Lambert, and we was all bored.
Easy,
I mean,
you've had it easy. I went to sit here after a 3-0 drumming by Northampton and try and make magic out of that.
And people like me rocking up and going, I wish we'd lost that so Lambert could bugger off. Yeah,
absolutely. It's like you're trying to decide who's going to be, more positive in their negativity. Whereas these days, it's like just stick them.
It's just great, isn't it? We had the final guest we had on last night was Louis, not being in for a while, and he was, a youngster. He's buzzing and all up for it. It's just fantastic. What was the crowd like? 27,000 and change, weren't it? I think
600. I think whole fans or however many it was in the end. But great to see Louis on. Not seen Louis in ages. I was like when he popped on the bottom of the screen, I was like, oh, it's Louis. Brilliant. Not heard from Louis in ages, so it was really good to get him on.
the feel good factor around the place is unbelievable. I mean, even last night they were just purring. The tiger puns, they were purring over the town. I mean, I've put on my little message here, look, we are legit, and it really does feel like that. I mean, I always said like 10 games, show me where the league table is after 10 games, and that's where the pieces will fall at the end of it, almost a quarter of the way through the league campaign. And as it stands, we're going to be either first or second, and that's beyond, as I've got to say.
Giving ourselves a great chance. Lewis says it in the chat there. Thanks, Lewis, one of our YouTube members. Follow his great lead. Hit the join button on YouTube. Lewis. Last night, a game changer for me. In most games, we've had elements of hanging on or riding our luck at times, but last night, I think he means, was different level. He might mean tonight. He might mean the podcast. I don't know. Don't want to put words into his mouth there.
He probably does. No,
he probably does.
Yeah.
Best half first I've ever seen at Portman Road. The real deal. A bit like you're legit there.
Yeah, this is interesting because me and Rich were chatting when he was driving back. And he said that was the best half of football I've seen. We will tell you in a minute when he comes on that I've seen in God knows how long. And I was like, well, when I watched back, remember I watched the Stoke game the next day or that evening or whatever it was because I wasn't in the stadium. And that to me felt like a real, maybe it's because it was the first home game. I don't know. That to me felt like a performance because there was the surprise element of it of how well we played. And, we didn't know whether or not the momentum of a League One promotion could be carried over against a team, Stoke, decent championship side.
Made a number of changes.
Yo-yoed in the Premier League, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that really blew me away. And I remember thinking, bloody hell, I wish I'd been in the stadium. It looked absolutely buzzing. But, I mean, last night, I was on the whole pod over the weekend and I said, look, I think it'll probably be 3-2 to us. We'll go 2 up. That did happen. I said, you'll probably score 2 goals. They never looked like scoring at all, did they? And we got the third. So, I mean, that was a really good performance, I thought. Really good.
It was. And you always know just how good your performance has been by the sort of ironic chants you get from the away fans. So, last night, the whole fans who I thought were fantastic in their number in the noise they made. We're singing, we've got the ball, we've lost the ball. And that's when you've always just completely outclassed an away team when they've resorted. I've been there, Palace away, I'm under Mick. When you've, let's just pretend we've scored a goal and things like that. You've got to make your own fun. You come all that way and you've barely had a sniff.
Around the corner, is it?
I've got 3 word reviews for you. I want you to either build on it or add to it. And we'll do the same for Rich when he comes in just after this. We've got either Mr. Birch on Instagram, Is This Real? Maxine Harley on Facebook, Poetry in Motion, Daryl Hughes on Facebook. Stunning 3 points. 3 word reviews there for you. Which one are you going to pick out to build on and go into detail?
Say it
again. I'll say it again. I'll say it many times as you want me to say it, Matt, because it's bloody good stuff tonight. Is This Real? Poetry in Motion. Stunning 3 points.
I'm going to say Poetry in Motion because I think, I like all of them, but I think Poetry in Motion probably kind of thinks, because I was sitting there last night, I mentioned on the show that our passing game just looks effortless. Now, that is the result of repetition in games and on the training ground over and over and over, and probably doing everyone's heads in. But you get the repetition and the practice, and then you see it in a game situation over 90 minutes, and it looks like it looks spontaneous. It looks spontaneous. It looks like it's improvised. I don't think it is at all, really. I just think it's brilliant coaching from McKenna and his team. And as Brazenia said, I think, and Rich will agree, he's a really good manager. Probably make a good Ipswich manager one day. I mean, he's only about the same age as McKenna.
He's always a
couple of years older. We got to look to the future. A couple of years older. Even he said, outstanding. You can see they've got an identity. You can see they've been together. Even the way they communicate to each other. He said, we just didn't stand a chance. And Hull are a good team, right? They ain't lost since the day of the season. Speaks volumes, that to me.
Oh, it really does. Rob Holmes, McKenna masterclass last night, putting in the fridge at centre half against the Laps pace. Fair play. We saw that coming. We've got the selection coming up, I'm sure. But Rich, your 3 word reviews. You've got Steve Wright, style, sophisticated, dominant. Nick Castaldo, simply effing irresistible. Or Lowy Blue, stunning, sensational, sorted. I love these 3 reviews and they're so positive.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, good. Good evening.
Anyway, what was your 3 word review on the food?
Flipping amazing.
Oh,
but I need more than 3 because it's always the same with these posh affairs. Simply
he
amazing.
said in the WhatsApp group he doesn't do food pictures, Matt. He said.
No, I
absolutely didn't. Flipping amazing. There's your 3.
No, flipping amazing. But where's the rest of it?
Was it one of them?
Yeah, it's posh food is always like that. You know that, Rich. We've been to the
both
FCAs.
like this. You like this at the FCAs. I ate my meal. I was going, bloody hell, this is a bit big. You two are going, where's the seconds?
Great food though, honestly, blew me away. Always great food at Portman Road. You know, we've been there before for other shindigs we can't mention, but yeah, always good food. Rich, you got some fantastic 3-word reviews on your own personal account, but there to choose from. It's just amazing time right now.
Yeah, look, you've got to enjoy. What was the second word? Simply sophisticated. Which one was that?
Style, sophisticated, dominant.
Yeah, I think if you look at that, and I don't know who I was chatting to today. Now, we'll probably get onto the selection. I love the way McKenna, you know, when he comes out. Look, we've had previous managers, Matt, who didn't even know that players were back on the grass. But you've got a manager here who actually, he speaks to his fans like they're proper people, and he explains what's happening and why he's made that decision. Like Fridge coming in last night, everybody thought that Burgess was injured. And then you find out, no, it was a tactical change because obviously he thought he was a better fit against Liam Delap. So, look, I mean, this is... I put today, Gov, I think he's the best manager I've seen. I know it's massive accolades. Probably the best manager tactically and technically since I've been watching Town for 39 years. And I know you've had George Burley in there who took us to the Premier League. But I think it has changed out now, the technical, the analytics, and he's all over that. And it's look, I've got 3 lads who've never seen anything like this. And it's just like, I can see them there watching thinking, this is great. And there's other, look, Colin said loads of times like, about the kids have never had anything. Look, we were going when we were younger, Martin, and we've been going for probably the last 10, 15 years, probably at times questioning yourself why you're actually doing it. You know, some of them times, when you see, Matt, the picture of the last time when we played Hull in the Championship at home when it was under Mick and we lost 3-0, and it was like a ghost town, Martin, down there. I wasn't going on Tuesday nights then. I thought, I'll get up early for work. I wasn't going to put the hard yards in because it was
tough, wasn't it?
It was awful. It was bloody awful back then. And now, look, it's 27,000 against Hull on a Tuesday night. I mean, amazing.
Oh, absolutely. And you're right. When the team selection was read out for us by John Walk, when he said Edmondson, there was a few. Huh? What did he just say? Did he just say Fred? What? Like, it was a surprise.
I think it just goes to show you. Like, now we all naturally assumed Burgess was injured, right? You would. I think it just goes to show you how in command and how in control, and you know how McKenna's got his fingerprints all over this team. I mean, that, you know, you feel, you know, I don't know if people feel nervous about changing, you know, the side from Huddersfield or the side that had been Blackburn, whatever it might be. But to actually take someone out of the side tactically, I mean, Rich sums it up there. You know, I mean, that is the new breed of manager. That's kind of like, it's almost like he's half artificial intelligence. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it takes some bottle to do that. I mean, you don't, you know, you if it backfires, you're going to get pelters. Luckily, it didn't. But that just goes to show you the making of what McKenna is, I think.
It was a big call, you know, winning team, Rich. But absolutely, McKenna is a manager that sort of thrives off the big calls. And Edmondson coming in was almost a masterstroke. And his stats are on the screen now. And he played so well. And Richard Chandler, in his 3 words, says ice cold Fridge.
Look, he was back to his best. I've always been a fan, and I've said he's played in this league before, but he obviously played last week against Wolves, and he had a good game then. But look, the old adage, Matt, they used to say, didn't they? Don't change a winning side.
Yeah,
you know. And now, not just McKenna, a lot of managers. Look, they'll say like we play a lot of games now, and they always used to play a lot of games back in the day, but. It'll be interesting Saturday what he does, because it wouldn't surprise me if Burgess comes back in. And it's nice now that whoever comes in the team, they just slot seamlessly in, don't they? It's like Harness last night comes in and he was my man of the match. And you think, George Edmondson, he's another one. He suffered injuries, but I thought last night, other than he had that one little dodgy moment, Matt, when he had a bit of a foot race, didn't he, with Liam Delap, and he sort of seemed to win the race, and then.
Yeah,
and then he sort of left it for, I think he was expecting the goalie to come. And then he just got his foot out and he just poked it, and then I think Connolly just slotted it wide. But other than that, I thought he was. And Mick Mills mentioned Govey's passing on Suffolk when I was listening back this morning from the post game last night, and he's really good on the ball, and it's great that we've said before, and I think we probably have to admit that we're wrong. Well, we didn't think the squad was strong enough. Well, we're 10 games in, and we've got 25 points, which is the most ever from a team that has been promoted from League One. We beat Southampton, obviously had the record from when they got promoted in 11-12, I think that was. So, look, this is uncharted times that we're watching Town in, and I think we just have to lap it up and you just have to ride that crest of a wave and enjoy it. And you think now, when you look at 75 points, I think, Matt, normally get you in the playoffs. Well, bloody hell, we've got 25 already from 10 games. I mean, we're going at 2.5 points a game here. So to get to 75, you need another 50 from 36. That's probably mid-table form.
If not lower.
Exactly. So it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
If you go on what Sunderland got last year, we only need 44 points on the playoff position for 6 last season. This goes to show, doesn't it? Again, we say to ourselves, have we underestimated the championship? Is this a weaker championship? Didn't feel like it with all the teams coming down, did it? And Leicester has shown you that they're probably gonna bounce back, and hopefully we'll be with them. But listen, if you'd said to us, chatting to someone that worked today, and he said, yeah, you're top of the table, you must be buzzing. I said, we are. He said, did you think you were going to be top 2? I said, no. I said, if you told me we're between 8th and 10th, I've been well happy with that. A nice kind of consolidation. You're moving slowly to the Premier League. At the moment, it looks like we're bashing the door down for the Premier League after 10 games.
Still a lot of football left to be played. You've got to keep feet well and truly on.
Happened so far.
Well, absolutely, yeah. It's a great time to be a Town fan, and you know, another positive result of the weekend, which we come to towards the end of the show. You start looking at those points totals, the cushions you're giving yourself, and you're giving yourself a little bit of a wobble time, because a wobble is coming. You know, it's inevitable. We had it last year in League One. We'll have it again this year.
Well, we did. Yeah, that's true. That was around about this time as well, wasn't it? End of October. But what can you see this team wobbling at the moment? I can't at the moment. No, look, you've got to take every game in isolation. Let's see what happens against Preston on Saturday. You could get a red card, own goal, penalty that never was, and suddenly that puts a dent in your confidence, doesn't it? But at the moment, I mean, we've literally just played Hull off the park. No one saw that coming. No one.
No, nobody did. No, I don't think anybody did. And before we go any further into the show, I'm going to come onto the goalkeeper now and get your thoughts on him. Can we please just?
We had debate about this last night.
I'm banning the question Haladki versus Walton. I'm banning that from tonight's show because I'm getting a little bit sick to death of hearing who's going to be down in goal. Only one man knows, and only one man currently has the shirt. And the man currently in goal, Rich, last night was phenomenal. I messaged you both during the game and said it's a Haladki world. We're just living in it.
He had a 98% passing completion last night, Matt.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good with his feet, isn't he?
There he is.
He took two players out of the game with a turn, set us on our way for the second goal.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
phenomenal. Absolutely. And then the ball for Hurst, like I said.
Well, there you go. Pre-assists from the goalkeeper.
I'll take that pre-assist. I will take that pre-assist.
Yeah,
he's just so cool. He's so cool, isn't he? In possession of that ball when it goes. Yeah. If you look at him as well, guys, he's got a great first touch. Ping back to him, and look, Christian Walton's fit, which we all want, and you want competition for places all over the pitch. But at the minute, I mean, I'm in the Walton camp. I still am, but
don't go there.
I'm not going there. But he is showing unbelievable consistency. And he starts off the play, and you think, you're looking at that second goal last night. I mean, if that had been in the Premier League, Matt, they'd have been playing that over and over again, and it'd been on goal of the month competition, you know. And your goalkeeper's on the byline, and he took two forwards out of the game. Look.
Yeah.
And he dictates how we play because it all starts from him. So, and look, if he keeps playing like this, I don't think anyone will. I'm the biggest Christian Walton fan, but if he keeps playing like this, it means Town are playing well. Town are picking up points. And at the end of the day, we all want to win games of football, and it doesn't really matter who's in goal, does it? At the end of the day, if you're winning football matches, I think I agree with Steve Parry, because I listened back to the show last night. Great work, by the way, Matt. Frank, if you're watching, please put 20 euros in the meter next time, because it's a little bit dark. But I think they'll probably have that friendly in between the break. I think Walton gets some minutes there. I think Walton probably plays against Fulham. You know, he'll get some minutes there. But at the minute, I think it's probably a non-starting question, is it, Gov? Really, because you're winning games of football. So, but then you don't know with what McKenna thinks, Matt, because like you say, we never expected Edmondson to play last night. So
exactly, who knows? Twanzebe might come in Saturday. Who knows? Who knows what might happen?
Just trust the manager. That's all we can do.
I was going to say, mine. I said on the show last night, I think rather than this sort of Hladky versus Walton, squad members against each other in the minds of supporters, I think we should just be thankful we've got two absolute cream of the crop keepers. If Hladky gets injured, Walton will come in. If Walton gets injured, Hladky will come in.
Oh, don't worry, Christian Walton's still picking up the win bonuses, Matt. He'll be happy.
Yeah. I just think it's great, and I do feel like Hladky offers something a little bit different to Walton in terms of starting the moves, and we saw it with the second goal last night. But then Rich says, you know, look at what Walton did for us in the division last year. Brilliant. You know, got the goal started against, where was it? Was it Derby?
Yeah,
11-second goal. Key penalty saves. Tremendous. We're blessed to have two keepers. I think it's brilliant.
We are. And you know things are going well when the ITFC website gives you a new photo. You know? I looked on there today. I was like, "Hey, they've updated his photo." Because if you remember before, it was just one of him pointing. He's now actually got a proper squad photo like the rest of them, so you know things are going well for you. You know,
who could? Who are the keepers for the Czech Republic? Could he get a call up there?
Why not in the championship?
Why not? Yeah, Bielkowski did it with Poland, didn't he?
What about a new contract? Because obviously that's ticking away.
What's up in it? Summer. Yeah. He's got a. The problem is you've got now he's been in the window and people will know his contract's up. I'm sure people in Ipswich probably received some offers, but he seems quite content to be at Town. He's spent the whole season last year, didn't he, on the bench? Now he's seeing game time. So let's see how it pans out. Like we say, we've still got 36 games to go yet. Who knows what's going to happen?
We've got a long way to go.
That's a Premier League season basically to go. Yeah.
This is it, yeah. And I've got some fantastic people spreadsheet number crunching this evening, so hopefully bring you something over the weekend with terms of expected points, where teams have been this point of the season, how many teams have made the top six, haven't been in the top six at 10 games, all angles being covered.
What was Burnley on after 10 games, Rich? Do you know?
Well, when I watched Mission to Burnley, you know, the Sky documentaries, they had quite a slow start. There was a lot of games that they drew at the start of last season, so I think at the minute we're probably well ahead of them. Another stat I see today, I think Town, since the Lincoln game, Gov, last season, when we lost 1-0, which was that September, October?
It was a while,
September, October,
we have scored in every single game at home since that in the league. We are averaging 2.9 goals a game.
Pedal to the metal. Look at that. Beautiful,
they
isn't it?
That on Sky last night. That was our 15th game on the trot at Paul Road. We've scored 2+ goals or something, or more than 2 goals, something like that. 1+ goals. Scoring a lot of goals, basically, is what they were saying. Yeah,
we're so magic. We're running out of superlatives to actually assign the football team. We have to have a whole new word creation half an hour where you try and come up with words to describe the team that haven't been used before, because it's just an amazing time. And McKenna's getting the big things right, but he's being really helped out by his players. We all had our transfer grades. We all spoke about the depth, but the players you had question marks about are really coming into their own. Edmondson, Luton, at friendly, many were thinking maybe time for him to go. Steps in last night, performs really well. Marcus Harness, Carl Edwards is on the way out, and fans are saying, well, why is Harness still here? But he stepped in. You know, if just ignore Wolves for a minute, which you shouldn't do because they had 3 assists, by the way, last night. Matt, absolutely phenomenal performance. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree with Rich. I think he was man of the match. Actually, I think I said it last night. Yeah, he looks like he's gone back to the player that we all liked at the start of the League One campaign, where, you know, he looks composed on the ball. He never seems to be particularly hurried. I think when he was in bad form, the fact he's quite composed and doesn't look hurried, probably doesn't look too good. But look, listen, how many shots did he have last night? What we got? 4 shots, 4. goals, one. I mean,
One.
whenever he got the ball around the box, he was shooting, wasn't he? And he was Johnny on the spot, just inside the 6-yard box for the Hurst pass. Tremendous. What I did notice last night, now whether or not this is me just not being very observant, how close he played to Chaplin. It was almost they were both vying for that number 10 role. He was almost like they're in each other's pockets.
But then you've got Leif Davis. You've got Leif Davis. I see a I can't remember. Someone had taken a picture last night, Gov. That was from your end, but upper, when Preston took a goal kick. And you look how high Burns and Leif Davis are up the pitch. Burns, Leif is way up the pitch. It's like you're playing with 3 centre-backs. Brandon Williams tucking in on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard. Harness was tremendous last night. It was like he was back to the player that came in and played them early games last season. I still think a little bit. You know, he got that injury against Portsmouth, didn't he, last season in the cup?
Back too soon?
Yeah, exactly. Was he fully fit when he came back? Because he looked a bit sort of off the pace. We all remember the game at Cheltenham when he came in and he played instead of Broadhead and he snapped at a chance there. But look, confidence in football is a wonderful thing, and when you're all playing well and when you're winning games. But I still expect on Saturday that Broadhead will come back in for him. And that'll be harsh. That would probably be harsh on Harness because he's undoubtedly probably a lot of people's man. He was my man of the match. But it shows that you need them players to come in to push they should be pushing each other, these players. So Harness plays well, it's going to push Broadhead on to be better, you know, and this is the way at the minute that it's confidence and we're winning and everyone's involved, Gov, because the manager's getting everyone involved. There's not a lot of players who are not playing their part at the minute. You know, even like last night, he said the subs done well because when they came on and they weren't sort of going through the motions, because sometimes you have that sort of effect when you're 3-0 up and you come on for 15 minutes and the game's dead. But they were still putting it in. I think the most important thing last night was to get that clean sheet as well, you know, because you played well. Don't give them anything. They give them a couple of free kicks around the box, and I think Alaki had a couple of saves, didn't he, down your end? But they didn't create nothing really all night. And they're a good side, Hull. Let's not anyone sit here and say, Hull, they're a poor side. They're not. They're a good side. They're unbeaten in 8 games. They've only lost to Norwich on the first day of the season. So I was
going through their team while I was prepping for the game, for the post-match. So that Tyler Morton's on loan from Liverpool, worth around 6 mil. That Seri, who was in midfield with him, was 25 million quid 4 years ago. You got Delap at Man City on loan. Traore was a £5 million teenager about 10 years ago. That Philogene, they spent 5 million on from Villa, and Connolly can't get in the Brighton team, so they bought him for I don't know how much they've got him for. So there's some players there with some good background, isn't there?
Twine's another one, Matt. You know, he was
who we all wanted, right?
Didn't do a lot, did he, when he came on? I'll give him a gobful. He was warming up, going on in the second half. I said you should sign for a big club. I was giving him some right grief.
Should have said free kick specialist.
My mate who supports Burnley, Nick, he said he'll never play for us again. He says too much of a twiglet. He can stay down there in the champ. He already thinks we're getting promoted.
Max Pitchford, Harness is always better than Edwards, in Max's opinion. Is right looking out of touch in the second half of the season. Carl, I think Harness was rushed back from his injury. You saw the Will Harness last night. Lee, fair play to Harness. And Jackson, as they to me were players that I've looked at getting rid of, but they've knuckled down and deserved their chances. Rob Holmes' 3 words were Harness steps up, and he did step up. It was a phenomenal performance.
I mean, it's great to see, isn't it? I do wonder whether or not he kind of rushed himself back because Broadhead came in and he made an immediate impact, didn't he, against Sheffield Wednesday? Perhaps he just wanted to be part of the big show, you know, the promotion show. But, you know, maybe sometimes you want to be patient, don't you? And, you know, be the tortoise rather than the hare. And now he's reaping the benefits because he's back. So in my mind, he always used to be in the starting 11. And then I was like, well, he could probably leave. But now we're seeing this Harness 2.0, and I think he's just looking tremendous.
And the biggest compliment you can play somebody is when you sit in the ground and you think, oh, Broadhead's not playing. In a good way. Because the player who's coming for him is performing to such a level.
Agreed.
You didn't really even think about it until you're like, who's not playing?
What a luxury to say, we didn't bring Harness on we didn't bring Broadhead on last night. We'll save him for Saturday.
Another player performed really well, who, you know, Connor Chaplin, Rich, you mentioned him on Saturday's show. He got a goal yesterday, played really well as well. Do you have any thoughts on him?
Yeah, I thought that was really good performance. great little dummy, wasn't it, for that first goal? Because obviously, look, he's probably trying to pick out Connor, and he's ducked, hasn't he? Because he knows the left back's come in to sort of mark him, and then it's obviously gone out to Wes, and he's just absolutely. Well, you must have had a great view of that, Gov. You know, because where I was sitting, we were sort of directly in line. As soon as he hits it, it's like an arrow and it's gone in. But look, the second goal we talked about from the goalkeeper. Harness plays that good ball down to Leif. Look, Leif Davis. No one's really spoke about his performance last night. Another 2 assists.
Yeah,
you know, because now he set the standard, and we expect him to play well. So
that's what else, isn't it? Because that's the standard. That's Leif.
So we don't really need to. We know what Leif does out there. I think that's 4 assists, Gov, now he's got this season. But I mean, when you are looking at your pre-match, Matt, about like what the opposition have got and their strengths and their weaknesses, I mean, Liam Rossini, I must be saying, Connor Chaplin, don't leave him unmarked on the edge of the box with about 4 yards of space, because I think everyone in the ground, as soon as that ball came to him and he took a touch, we all knew where it looked. It was a great finish right in the top corner, but we all knew where it was going because we've seen that so many times. And you're thinking, if you're a whole player, you're thinking something's gone wrong there, because we've left him in oceans of space, and it was just, he just picked it out, didn't he, and placed it in the top corner. And it was a great finish, and it sort of, we deserve that because we'd been so much on top in that first half. They had a little spell, I think, of about 10 minutes, Matt, where they had a little bit of the ball. But if we'd have only gone in 1-0 at half time, I think we'd have probably thinking, yeah, look, we're happy that we're 1-0 up. But that sort of put the cream on the top, because we deserved another goal. That's probably the best 45 minutes of football under McKenna since he's been there. I think it was that good.
Better than Stoke? Better than the Stoke
Yes.
opening game? Yeah.
Yeah, I think better than Stoke.
Good.
Just to let you boys know, Wednesday have made a move at the managerial position.
Oh, what's going down?
Are they giving him a new contract? Paul Lambert style?
I don't believe so. I believe.
What about Watford yesterday? Did you see the statement? Did you see the statement? It said, what? When I clicked on it, I'm thinking, they've extended his contract.
That was a shocker. Yeah, Watford can confirm manager, and you're like, it's October. Here we go, boys.
When you look at their record, it's his Vladimir Ismail. His record, Matt, is worse than Rob Edwards, who got the sack after 10 games last season.
Oh, there you go. You see, different managers get different.
So Wednesday, have they pulled the?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, too, didn't they?
Who's going to come in here? McCarthy? They need someone like that, don't they? They need someone of that ilk, I think.
they need a lot, because it's not good there at the moment, is it? It really
There'll always be someone. There'll always be someone, Matt, who thinks that they can go and save them. The only man who can save Sheffield Wednesday is Neil Warnock, by the way.
Yeah, the blame.
Paul Hurst, Paul Cook. You've got various different ex-town options.
It's funny how, you're talking about Leaf, and it could have been a toss of a coin between him and Harness being man of the match last night. 2 assists. What is that? His 3rd assist in 2 games. I had a few lads I used to work with, and they were saying, look, what England are going to do for a left back? There's a few falling by the wayside. This Alfie Dodsey at Luton looks decent. I was like, hold on a minute. You're telling me he's better than Leif Davis? Like, well, he's in the champ, Matt. He ain't going to be in the conversation. Maybe next season if he gets there. But I was thinking, bloody hell, just because he's playing in the championship shouldn't stop them from looking at him being, playing in friendlies for England. I don't think he's as good as left back as you'll find anywhere at the moment.
It does, though, doesn't it? It does. We all know that.
I think that's harsh, though, don't you think?
Yeah, but I don't want him playing national football.
Steve Ball went to the World Cup. Steve Ball went to the World Cup in 1990 when he was playing in the championship, didn't he? Under Bobby Robson.
Oh, it's because your Bobby was your manager, right? He was an open thinker. Yeah, I just feel sorry for Leaf, because I feel like if he was doing these performances in the Premier League, he'd probably be a no-brainer to get a call up. But because it's against championship opposition, I don't know why, but I think the stats speak for themselves.
And nobody mentioned Leaf last night, Rich, because they couldn't get off the Ladke-Walton debate. That's why, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Once we get involved in that, it's very difficult to get off it, let me tell you.
Oh, I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on Sheffield Wednesday, Nathan Jones.
Can't see Nathan Jones going there. Yeah, he seems to have done all right at Luton.
This is it. Ian Davis, cricket. Ian Davis, obviously one of the talking cricket contributors. He said Wes Burns was one of his 3 words reviews, or better Wes Burns, something along those lines. I've not copied and pasted it over from X properly. Apologies, Ian. But what were your thoughts on Wes? Stats are on the screen.
Yeah, there's his stats. Yeah, I think it was a typical Wes performance. Just you had the icing on the cake of a goal this time. He always with Wes, you're always going to get endeavour. You're always going to get energy. You're going to get commitment, and I feel a little bit sorry for him, and I'm probably guilty of this. That sometimes I might judge his performances on, little things like, did the cross make it into the box? Did he only get to the first man? But the fact he scored a goal last night, I think, is the cherry on top for him, because I think he pretty much is you always say, don't you, Martin, you want consistent performers. I think Wes is a consistent performer. And sometimes he gets marked out of games. Sometimes his crossing's not the best. But the fact he got a goal last night, I think just gave that little bit of extra impetus, I think, for everyone to say what a great game he had. I think he's a consistent performer for us, pretty much. He always gives you the energy.
He does. He really does. Mike the Fishman, Burns is a nailed-on starter. Is Mike right? Yeah. Or do fans have to move away from this mindset of people being nailed-on starters under the maestro, Kieran McKenna?
I spoke to his dad today. Shout out to his brother, Christian, Matt, who's going to be a dad. Found out today. So good week for the Burns family. Look, I think there's probably certain players in this team. I know nobody's probably 100% like we see last night with Burgess, but I think it's like a Sam Morsey. Sam Morsey, if fit, is going to be on that team sheet. And for me, I think Wes Burns, like you say, you know what you get every week with him, Matt, up and down that line. And you can look into his chances created, Martin, because you look at the game Saturday, 2 crosses in that first half he laid on the plate for George Hurst with the header. Yeah. And there's one in which he pulled it back to Connor Chaplin. Now, he can only do so much if he's creating them chances if they don't put them in. But I think I was really pleased that he scored last night. And I think, what was the stat, Matt, that you said? Was that the 15th player to score this season?
Yeah, I think he was. Someone put it in the chat last night. Yeah, 15 different scorers we've had across all the competitions. Yeah.
I mean, you look at that because you normally, you're hoping that someone gets 20 goals and then everyone else chips in. But I think this team, it will probably be everyone's going to contribute. We'll probably get onto George Hurst because I don't know if either of you see Liam Rosinia's comments. Yeah. He basically said that was where he said Hurst was Ipswich's best player because he it's when that ball goes up to him and it's a thankless task. And I think sometimes on Saturday, Gov, he was a little bit isolated up at Huddersfield. But he works his socks off, and by 65, 70 minutes, George Hurst, the petrol gauge is empty because he's put in so much effort. But he's key to how we play, because when that ball goes up to your striker and he's playing up there on his own, you've got to get hold of that ball. You've got to secure that ball and then bring your teammates. And I think every time last night, Gov, that went up to him, he got hold of the ball and he brought everyone else into play. And I've said before about he'll probably, for his own sort of personal he'll want to score some more goals than he does. But like you said, Matt, when you've got 15 people, different scorers, this team, he's one of the ones, Gov, who he'd be a first name on the team sheet, because he is vital to how we play. And if you had him out for any length of time, we've not got anybody who's got the attributes that he brings to the table. You've got Ladapo, you've got Scarlett, but they're different players. And George Hurst we'll always think fondly of him, won't we? Because we were there that night. That night at Barnsley will live long in the memory of like me, you, every Town fan who was there, or every Town fan who's watching wherever they were. So, but he has showed this season, and there was some doubts about him, weren't there, that he hadn't really performed at Championship level because he'd had a loan spell at Rotherham, I think, Matt, and he'd been at obviously Blackburn. I think it was 40 odd games and he hadn't scored a goal. So he's got 2. He's got 2 so far. Yeah. But it's his all-round game that it's just...
I agree.
He's such a good player.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Coochie in that way. That I always remember Joe Roll saying Coochie would chase an empty crisp packet being blown across the wind on the pitch. And he's like that a little bit. He does put a lot of hard yards in, and it's that work off the ball, isn't it? Or just chasing people down, or chasing the keeper down, or just pressing the 2 centre halves, wherever it might be. And you can see why he's bloody knackered after 70 minutes. Just puts in a lot of effort.
He does. But like all strikers, he will rightly or wrongly, be judged on goals. And he's 1 or 2 away from really lighting the match paper for me. Like once he gets one or another one,
what would you expect him to get in mind? What are you thinking? What would be a good
great question? But
10?
Strikers are judged on goals. I would call George Hurst Velcro because everything sticks to him. Everything sticks to him. It's amazing to watch him play.
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt for you. There you go.
He is. He's Velcro.
Velcro,
Literally, it's amazing to watch him play, and I'd hate to be a centre half against him. But Ellis
Is he
Sims
like one of them things? What are them little mitts that you have when you throw the tennis ball?
Yes.
And it just
I like that. I like that a lot. But Ellis Sims did go for £8 million, rightly or wrongly in people's fans, or however much it was, based on how much pressing he did. It was based on the goals, and that's where the question marks you're alluding to, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, come into it. 12 goals? 15 goals? I mean, I'd rather have George Hurst every day of the week over Ellis Sims right now. They
overpaid for Ellis Sims. Would they pay 8 million? That's because they'd sold.
I don't know.
Was
they
it
paid something?
3. It's about 3, and it could go to like my boss supports Coventry. He's a massive Cov fan. I think it's about 3.5, Matt, that they paid, and then there's different sort of levels of payment, games, goals, promotions, but it probably could go up to 8 million. I'd have took both of them.
I would have loved both of them. What I'm saying is George Hurst will fly under the proverbial radar on 99% of football fans' opinions that are not Town fans, because he doesn't get perhaps the headlining goals that other strikers get, because they're the things that fans look at are the stats. How many goals has he got? What's he got this? So for us, it's great. You'll fly under that radar and continue to be the unsung hero of a great team.
We talk about him being judged by goals. Well, supporters probably do, but is McKenna judging him on that? I don't think he probably isn't.
No, because he's a part of the jigsaw, isn't he? An important part.
He's a spoke in the wheel, isn't he?
And another reason why we're playing with the level we're playing at. Because without him and Broadhead, it would have been very difficult that second half of the campaign to do the things we did. But those were the question marks, I guess, from people saying, can he prove it at championship level? For me, he's proven it.
We had those as well, didn't we? We said that as well. A bit of a question mark, but again, McKenna is proving to be correct. He can't do anything wrong. He's got the Midas touch at the moment. Midas McKenna.
He has. Greg Porter says doesn't need 3 words. Masterclass was just his 3-word or 1-word review. I've got a couple of comments from Hull fans, which I want to read, because that's always good. Ant, who was on the show on Monday, he says, fair effing play. I believe the hype with you guys. Best side we've played in a long time. Unrelenting, direct, and aggressive. We weren't ourselves today, and you guys took advantage and then some. Good luck for the season.
So, man,
and Joe, who's a Hull fan, on the 3-word review. It's not a 3-word review. He just says, best side around, mauled us from start to finish, played with pace, some amazing finishes. Must be a joy going to watch that every other week. Yeah. A day that sadly has been coming for us, ponderous, and only started shopping. He says shopping. I mean, we're 3-0 down. I think he means playing. I don't know.
Shooting.
It could be. Yeah, that's a game in itself, isn't it? What does the Twitter user mean when they only started shopping when we were 3-0 down? But there we go.
When I was on that whole Hull and Back podcast, which the lads on there did say that they felt they'd been lucky not to lose a game since the Norwich one. And I said to them, look, when you come to Sporting Road, it's going to be like the Alamo. You're going to be under pressure right from the start. And of course, we score within 5 minutes. And I thought we might be a little bit closer, but I did kind of warn them. It was coming. But, Chris came on from West Bromwich Albion, didn't he? Albion Analysis podcast with us, and said he thought Hull could be a dark horse this season. And I totally agree with him. I think they got some very good players. And the fact that Rosini said, you was interested to see what he said, didn't you, Rich, when we were chatting on the phone? What he's going to say? He said we were outstanding. They are an outstanding team. I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
He was like a jack in the box, because where I sit is right near that away duggout. And I mean, that first half, he was. I remember having a picture with him. I went to one of the. That was when he played for Town back in, I think, 2010.
Yeah,
he was obviously on loan. We had him on loan. Where was he on loan from? Was he Reading?
Fulham.
Fulham? Yeah, I was going to say Fulham. Was he Fulham?
Have a look. You keep talking. I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah.
But he's another young manager sort of / coach, Matt, who's making his way in the game, and I think I was watching. I think that was the whole podcast when they said it might have been actually Rossini. He's only lost 7 games in about 38, 39 games before last night, so he's had a good impact on sort of his time there. And I think, look, they're a good side. I know they didn't really show it last night, but what fascinates me, or it doesn't fascinate me, it's when we used to go down to games. I was talking to the guy who sits behind me last night, and times that we went to Portman Road, especially under McCarthy and that, and he'd always say about like the first 25 minutes, nullifying the opposition, and we used to be so slow out the blocks, didn't we, go in games? And nothing.
A lot to do with the pace of our midfield a lot of times, but we'll leave it.
True, but you still got to play on the front foot when you're at home, and I mean, now we absolutely fly out the blocks, don't we? From the first whistle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And not that I want to make the comparison at all, but do you remember like when we first started this pod and we were like talking about what do we need to do at Portman Road at home in League One? Just play our game like Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Don't worry about the opposition. Just play our game. I actually feel like we are doing that now. Not that I'm comparing us to Barcelona particularly, but it doesn't matter what
good
you
last
bring.
time, Matt, with that second goal. Good Lord.
It doesn't matter what you bring to the table. I mean, fair play to Hull. They went toe to toe with us. They did that with Hull and one. They did that with Leicester and won, didn't they? They tried it again last night. And, they're on the back of a 3-0 loss. But that's the confidence that is surging like electricity through Ipswich at the moment. They will play that game at Portman Road regardless and see how you cope with it. And lo and behold, we won up within 5 minutes and 2.5 times.
Geordie's 2-0 up against PSG.
Oh. Wow. There we go.
God.
I've just had a message. I don't know if it's been released. I just had a message from someone saying, have you seen the new third kit? Has it been released?
Has it?
I haven't seen it.
I've just had a message from someone saying, have you seen the third kit?
Let me have a look on ITFC's website.
It's apparently going to be white anyway.
Oh, is it?
Well, they keep saying it's nothing on there. They keep saying it's something to do with Ed's new album, because I think his new album's called Autumn. I mean, look, we have to talk about Ed Sheeran at the game last night. We've done 47 minutes and we've not talked. Yeah. We've got a global superstar pulling pints in. So did you not pop out? Did you not pop out and see him, Gov? Because obviously he was just down the road from you, wasn't he?
Do you know what? I got a little message to me, and someone said there's someone at the door to see you. He says he's a pop star. He's desperate to meet the Gov, and I said, sorry, I'm too busy.
He wasn't at the game.
So did anyone watching the show last night get served by Ed on the bars in the Alf Ramsey? I'd love to know.
Don't know. I'll tell you what though. All right, let's start, because when we were doing Hayes in the centre circle on the Paul Lambert, that centre fan base
style.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Where are you on the sing along with Ed and the group, as they're called?
I know not everyone will be on board, because a lot of people say it's a bit cringy, won't they?
It's only October.
They will say that, but I just think it's a nod. Look, he's not been to Portman Road since, I think.
He's a banter fan. Got you. Come
been on tour, hasn't he? Been on tour, but he's back, and I think he'll be. I think he said he's got to go to the States for a couple of weeks, but other than that, he's going to be at the games. So look, it's just a little bit of appreciation that he's in the dressing room. I don't see no harm in it,
Matt, you're
cringy like the fist pump, Dominic says.
Dom does say cringy like the fist pump.
Listen, it just shows togetherness, doesn't it? And even look, my missus knows nothing about football, but she knows Ed Sheeran.
Yep.
And she listens to Ed Sheeran's albums, and in fact, he's on our shirt. And she was saying tonight, my God, if you get to the Premier League, that's a win-win, isn't it? Because then suddenly you've got a huge global name in music culture on your shirts as you go exploring new, geographical areas, be it Asia, Japan, Malaysia, whatever it might be. I mean, it's. I'd rather have his logo on our shirt than bloody Magical Vegas, whatever. And also, I think the logo actually really suits the design of the kits.
Well, he did reference that when he was on Town TV, didn't he? When they were saying about it, he did say that about Magical Vegas. Did you see that, Matt?
I didn't see that. No,
yeah, he said that when he popped in. But look, it's a win-win with Ed. It's a win-win. He's got the name on the shirt, and does it really matter? I'd say, look, fans of other teams will probably think, hang on, what's he doing in there? Town are getting a bit carried away. They played 10 games in the Championship. They're having a sing-along. What I did sort of notice is some of the lads there, don't think they all knew the words, did they?
I was just waiting for the customary Chaplin bin over the head moment. Like we've got every dressing room moment should have a customary someone getting their head
was actually in there
with the trash.
He was there.
Good.
The thing is, it's two things,
all
right?
good. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
It is
Look, we've had
great.
20 years of shit, right? Just enjoy it. Who cares whatever people think?
Completely
Just
agree.
enjoy it.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're going to get bashed for it. And in one hand, it could be a locker room moment in the sense of it stays in the locker room. It's their moment. It's there. But when you've got Ed Sheeran, the club would be absolutely stupid if they've got Ed Sheeran, the group, singing, and they didn't release it, because that one video is going to be seen more times than I'm ever going to probably have dinner ever again in my life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to go absolutely phenomenally boom. Yeah. So of course it's going to get released. Of course you're going to get the video camera out. But yeah, I mean, some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't listen to Ed Sheeran's music. It's not my style, but I recognise the fact that he has a global presence, and that's fantastic for our club.
What he means is it's good music.
What do you listen to, Matt?
Well, jazz mostly.
There you go. Oh yeah, because we've had a few little voice notes, and we can hear a little bit of jazz been playing in the background.
Yeah,
it's not long. It will soon be. Ghost Station will be wheeled out on the channel, I think.
Absolutely, I've got to make a pound note. I've got to pay royalties on this.
Mike D. Ashton should have said, "Go and get."
That'd have been brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's really got me. Josh Russell, I love it, but can you say out the squad list? Did he get a medal on Town TV?
That's the only thing that I didn't like, and I'm not that he's got a medal. That we've got a fucking runners-up medal. We come second, for fuck's sake. We got a trophy. I hope that trophy, when you do the tour of the ground, Matt, I hope that isn't taking pride of place anywhere, because that is embarrassing. We come second. There should be no trophies and there should be no medals for coming runners-up. Only if you're in a cup final. Only if you're in a cup final.
You get a silver at the Olympics if you come second at the same boat or whatever.
No.
Get third. Bronze.
Yeah, no. The Shire Shark says, Leave obviously got the assist for Wes. Wes' goal last night, but I'm interested to know if anyone else thinks, as I do, that Chaplin's dummy should also count as an assist.
No, didn't touch the ball.
No, we didn't touch the ball, did he? Yeah, no. He was part of the goal.
Yeah.
You could be part of the goal and not be a stat, right? We all know.
Well, not in football anymore, mate. No. Now you pass wind on the football pitch. It's probably got a stat for it. How many times you broke wind during the 90 minutes? Let's be honest. Everything in football these days comes with a stat metric. Did anyone see the expected goals, by the way? Because that was apparently very close. Much closer than I gave it ever credit for.
What did they say then?
I will get it. I'll get it up for you. But it was something like Ipswich Town 0.9 something, Hull 0.8 something.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought it was like weird stuff.
Hull didn't I didn't feel threatened at all. That's what that was my point with that. But you can ignore it.
Let's just look at
Big Mills' reference in this on Suffolk, Matt. That if you look at the stats from the game, they're pretty similar. About same possession, same shots, and you can look into stats however you want. All you have to look at is that scoreboard at the end, on the top of the North Stand. Town 3, Hull 0. Off you go, back up to Humberside, lads, with your legs behind, tail between your legs.
So Leicester's 0-0. Leicester's 0-0 at the moment, so they're top on goal difference by 2 goals at the moment. There we go.
Good for them. On to Preston then at the weekend. Overall head-to-head is played 27, Town wins 9, Preston wins 10, draws 8. Last time Ipswich played Preston, not counting pre-season, because that doesn't count at all, was the 19th of April 2019. Paul Lambert was in charge. We had one of our great days under Paul that day, losing 4-0. This was the team. Are you ready for this?
At Portman Road was one of them early games when their goalkeeper got sent off, and I think Paul Gallagher ended up in goal, didn't he? Right. That was when Lambert was like the whirling dervish, Matt, on the touchline. You know, his arms were going everywhere. That soon sort of died a death, didn't it, a little bit?
Well, that game felt like we needed to get 3 points, didn't it? And it wasn't. That kind of summed up the season a little bit. It was 1 point.
There's a few draws, went I think 2 all the way at Reading. That was an early game under Lambert. So
they had that Chris Maxwell in goal, didn't they? He was like come out.
Yeah, he got
to the halfway line.
He got the red card, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good memory.
I don't know what was said after the game, but I imagine Lambert said something along the lines of "We weren't at it, nowhere near it," something like
that. What stellar lineup did we have playing this day?
Well, this is it. Are you ready for this? Absolute star-studded lineup. You're gonna wish these days were back, ladies and gentlemen. Bart was in goal. That's the highlight. That's
Back in goal for Millwall, by the way. Bart, back in goal.
Of course he is.
Is he?
Greatest goalkeeper
Is he?
in the world, mate. In the world, apart from Haladki with the hair.
Yeah.
Which is why I like the new photo, by the way, because you see the full mane in its full glory. Look at it. It's
All
beautiful.
mane.
I want to know what sort of hairspray he.
Oh, he's frozen up. It's the hairspray that's done it, Rich.
That's normally my Wi-Fi that goes on.
Luke Chambers. Toto
He's back.
Yeah.
Start again. You froze up. You've been talking to Dagenham Dave.
Sorry, did I go?
Yeah.
Did I go? Miles Kenlock, Teddy Bishop, Cole Skuse, Flynn Downs, Elmirs, Jackson, and Judge. That was your team.
Oh wow. Yeah. That team shouldn't have got relegated particularly, but there you go.
It wasn't great, was it?
No.
It wasn't a great team.
No.
Shalabar, Keane, and Bree were the 3 subs brought on.
Who scored for Preston that day?
Oh, it's four goal scorers, Rich. I wasn't going to look into that. I'm going to depress myself after a 3-0 win and go back in time to see just how many times.
Trevor Chalabar's had a good career since, hasn't he? It's been
good career. Had a bloody great career.
Yeah, he's done all right, Trev.
I never would have thought that. But anyway, so thoughts heading in. Can Town make it a 7-point week on the back of a 9-point week?
Well,
what are your thoughts?
It feels like it. I mean, look, bloody hell. Chris at West Brom said to me, there's no chance we'll get a result at Preston. They end up winning 4-0 there. They're doing all right this evening. They're 0-0 with Leicester at the moment. But look, it feels like if we can replicate what we did last night, no one is going to live with us. I think we need to get used to that. If we can play like we did last night, teams coming to Bournemouth Road are not going to get anything from us. So I would envisage just doing something similar. A 2-0, 3-0 again.
Yeah. All right. Rich, this is my team for Preston.
I'd like to take on it.
What are your thoughts on this as a team for Preston? Haladki in goal, Clark, Wolfenden, Burgess, Davis, Morsey, Taylor.
He's got his man Taylor in there, Matt. Look at him. He's desperate to get him in there.
The agenda's
I'm never taking him out of the team sheet. One day that will be right. Okay. Burns, Chaplin. I've left Harness in though. That was like choosing which one of my children I love the most, Broadhead or Harness coming in. I was like, go on in. We'll play Harness and George Hurst up the front.
Well, three changes there for me in that side.
Go on then.
Broadhead plays. Broadhead will play. I think Broadhead plays instead of Harness. I think Luongo will play because we've not got a game for 2 weeks, so he can go and stick his feet up. And I think we haven't touched on Brandon Williams because he was another player who was close to man of the match last night. He done a tackle, Matt, over our side, first half, and the ref gave a foul. He was a little bit late. He got the ball, he's got the man, but he's given the whole bench an absolute volley, Brandon Williams has. It's right in front of him. He's given them an absolute gobful. I thought, yeah, I like you. I do agree. He did tire a little bit, didn't he, right towards the end? But I thought...
I feel like he made a couple of errors. Look, not that I'm criticising him particularly, but I feel like he's done his 90 minutes in the league. And a couple of errors crept in, but, I'm not going to complain about that.
I think you see there last night, and I love Harry Clark because he's one of our own, but I think Brandon Williams is a better player. I think he's a better footballer. He's played 50-plus games in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he's all right foot, isn't he? There he was, playing left back. Plays cutting in on his right, but he's playing on his natural side. And
yes,
he does wear them socks a bit low down them shins. They love it now, don't they? They'd have the tight shorts on, Matt, and the socks with them little shin pads.
Shin pads. Yeah, exactly.
But
good luck to him. I like it. I love it.
I thought he played very well, so I'd expect him to continue at right back. I think, but it doesn't really matter what we. It doesn't matter what we think. He could play who he wants, Kieran, and they'd still probably go out there and get the results.
We know he's going to make tactical subs, so it's quite hard then to predict the side. Now we know that Burgess was taken out last night for tactical reasons. I'm expecting Twanzebe to come in at some point.
Possibly so. Yeah, I'm expecting Jack Taylor to play at some point, as you can tell by the fact I never take him out of the team sheet. I'll keep hammering it. I'll keep backing Jack up. Don't worry, Jack. I've got your back.
Well, let's play. We've found is Evans out for the season now? Then after Hillsborough.
Well, he had his operation today, didn't he? He's MC. I think I was reading. I think it was Watson or Alex Jones in East Anglia, Matt. That's his 4th knee operation, and Kieran touched on it last night, saying hopefully this time like it'll clear it up. So obviously he's had it before, and it's probably an issue that's not really been because he's having to have surgery this time. I think with him, obviously 1-0 Leicester, by the way, against Preston.
Happy days.
Dewsbury Hall, good finish.
Dewsbury Hall, great
with him being out of contract, Lee Evans in the summer,
yeah,
I'm very doubtful if you'll see him play for Town again. And I think he's been a good player. I know you're not that bothered, Gov, because you're not his biggest fan, but I just hope that he has his operation and he recovers well and gets back to fitness because he's got something to offer for somebody. I just don't think he's Town now because we see him play on Saturday, and I think the way that we play, you see last night, it was like Sam Morsey comes in. It's like night and day, Lee Evans and Sam Morsey. You know,
yes.
Morsey is just in that midfield, makes us tick, gets on the ball, and Lee Evans, he's had a decent career. He's obviously played in the for Wales, but I don't really see him playing for Town again. That's just football, you know. That's how football is, and it's a very harsh business because he's a really good member of the squad, good round the dressing room. He's obviously captain on Saturday when he's been captain in the Carabao Cup games. But you just hope that surgery goes well and he can recover from that and then get back to playing football.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, agreed with that. I take it he's unblocked, you know.
Good old Lee.
Good. Yeah. No, wish him all the best with the surgery. Score predictions. We have got George, Nunn, and myself on the score predictions today. I have gone 2-1 Ipswich. He has gone 3-2 Ipswich. Rich, we've already heard from Matt and his score prediction. He went early. Do you agree with either one of us two?
What did Matt say? What did Matt say on this? What did you go for, Matt?
I said like a repeat last night, maybe a 2-3-0. I can see something similar.
Yeah, I think we'll come out firing out the blocks fast if we can score an early goal. I don't see anything other than I did put a tweet out yesterday. I thought Hull would be the more difficult game out of the two, if I'm being honest, and I would have taken 4 points out of the two home games. You know, that'd have been a decent return, and I didn't want to get too greedy. But I'm thinking now, when you see what we put on last night, and it was 3-0, and really we were in second gear for most of the second half, weren't we? Really. You know, they didn't really need to step up. Should have had another penalty, by the way, Gov. Should have had another penalty. I mean, Amari gets wiped out in the box. I don't know what these refs are looking at, really. But I will go, comfortable 2-0 victory for Town. George Hurst to score a goal as well. We're going to international break with 28 points, and we'll all be dreaming of...
Is this another international break we don't want because we feel like we're going to lose momentum?
No, I think we need it. I think this is we're taking these games in blocks. I think it was like 7 goals in 21, 22 days. Kieran said so. I know Wes and obviously Nathan Broadhead have been called up for Wales. I'd expect Burgess probably to play against England for Australia and. The thing we haven't touched on is quite worrying because we see with Fridge last night coming in. Look, you've got to look ahead to January, and I think if Fridge went, if Burgess went, I think we could cope. Sam Morsey's massive, Matt and Martin in the middle of that pitch. If he went away with Egypt and he missed 4 to 6 weeks, I think that'd be a massive miss. There's no. It's not nailed on that he's going to be selected anyway, Matt, because you think that he only played them last 2 internationals, he only played about 8 minutes at the end. And
they were qualified already. So I do feel like probably Egypt have got other players there. But you never know, do you? Injuries might propel him into the squad. You never know, do you? We'll have to deal with that when we get to it.
Yeah. I do agree about the blocks. Obviously, you after this international break, you've got another set of games. Then you've got a brief
November.
Yeah.
Another one.
And then you're banging to the money.
Yeah, another one in November.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then right through to what, March, I guess?
February, I think, without looking all the way through to my diary.
March, because I'm on holiday.
March, there you go. Yeah.
So that's gonna be a testing time for us, I think.
Yeah. that's when the majority of the season is played. But we're doing very well at the moment. So let's enjoy the good times while they are here.
Enjoy it. Absolutely, yeah.
Absolute masterclass. You can't wait to get down to Portman Road. I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday for various reasons.
You can get some more rubbing in the bloody. He's in the Sabobby, isn't he? Isn't so no show Saturday after the game.
No, there'll be a show. There'll be a show. Yeah. There'll be a show. I can't have too many shows off, guys. I mean,
so is Mr. Lambert getting another day out of the football?
I'm taking me nan.
Oh, he's going with your nan this time.
Very good.
I'm gonna take me nan. I'm gonna treat her for one. That's how I'm gonna treat her.
Good.
I'm just gonna pass on the treat.
How early do you get there? Because you did comment on, I do agree with Martin last night. He put on the WhatsApp group, I don't understand people who get in the ground an hour before kickoff, and I'm totally with that. I mean, what are you watching? You're just sitting there.
What'd you do? Did you
chat? The gates had obviously opened, and there was people coming in and sitting in their seat, and I was thinking, still like an hour and 5 minutes to kick off. It's Tuesday night in October. He did.
Yeah.
It's not even a pleasant Saturday afternoon in August. Like,
yeah. You know, fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. Well, I mean, look, some stadiums you see like Galatasaray, they open the ground about 3 hours before kickoff. They're all in there, lighting flares and singing. But
all right, don't lighting flares, but you're lighting flares and singing. It's when you go and sit.
This is pensioners with flasks.
You got to go sit in there. You know, your Yorkie bar, have a cup of tea, and it's like, And then, I was told,
Yorkie bars. They're a lot smaller than they used to be. A lot smaller than they used to be, Yorkie bars.
You're just much bigger, Mr. Moss. That's
I'm not.
I had, for the first time ever, I don't know what prompted me to choose it, put some diesel in the car tonight. I had a Reese, the Reese thing, the orange.
Reese bar, yeah.
Like a Snickers with a it was all right. Yeah. American chocolate.
Yeah. It's not a Snickers,
Is there, how are you getting there Saturday? Are you driving, Matt? Is there any train strikes this?
Right, no, I'm getting the train. I don't know if I'm going to be with Mike. I hope so. We've been doing
he'll be on the pub crawl again. Where are you going this time?
I don't know. It's down to Mike. He knows everybody. I'm a nobody compared to him. We've been round.
We can confirm.
Yeah, I want to go to the Dove again. That had some good beers on the tap there. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Dove's a good little pub. Very good.
Looking ahead, we do need to be getting there early for the Norwich game. So we do need to we could have a Talking Town meet-up that day and get in the pub early and...
Well, like the 8, like we did on the pub.
You ain't catching me in a pub on Norwich Day. Not
what?
No.
Fan zone.
Fan zone, potentially. Okay. But Norwich is a big game that all fans come out for. You ain't catching me in a pub.
Well, I mean, bloody hell, you can only get 30,000, well, just shy of 30,000 in the stadium anyway. What was it last night? 2770, I think I just looked up.
Yeah.
It's much more than that, is it?
Shout out to the whole fans. Was it 550 they bought down?
Yeah, it's all right.
There was a few shirtless, Gov. Did you see them shirtless waving them around at the top of their stand when they're 3-0 down singing, "We've got the ball, we've got the ball, you've got the ball." Bit of humour.
Stephen Parry, covering the ground 2 hours early to hold his seat. No need, Stephen, and the Cobble stand, mate. Great stand in English football. No need to hold his seat. What
was the cheese and biscuits like anyway last night?
Pubs will not be shut. Rob Holmes, whoa. Pubs will not be shut on Derby Day. They will be opening early for breakfast. Where was the pub we went to? What was the pub we went to when we played Exeter, Matt? And we went for breakfast and you naffed off and went somewhere else.
I mean, Mike couldn't get in there, could we?
That was it. Yeah.
The Yates' one, was it?
That was nice. When we went to Cricketers, you and Mike turned up whenever you wanted to. Like,
he's late, wasn't he? He's late as usual.
Swan did.
Yeah, he got stuck on it.
Oh, it's staying here first. Swan did.
Then we saw you in the fan zone. What a great day that was. Fantastic day that was.
Won't be a patch when we go and smash Norwich.
Well, I'm looking forward to April when we're promoted at Carrow Road.
Rich said this last night. Could we be promoted at Carrow Road?
That's going to be.
Could you imagine
at Carrow Road? We're only 5 steps away from Europe in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, season this could be.
We're coming up with scenarios. That is a great scenario. Promoted to the Premier League at Carrow Road.
Anyway, I want to know how my crowdfunder's getting on with the banners above the away turnstiles.
Tell everyone about this.
You're exactly where we left you.
What was it? Grease paint and peel on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
We spoke about this Pinken article, didn't we? And then what did you say, Martin, in response?
Will Jennings, you've still not replied. I tweeted out and tagged you in. If you want to come on.
Yeah, you can't give it all this, boy. and not respond to us.
Yeah, somebody.
So what did you say, Martin, in response? You said you're exactly where we left you 4 years ago.
Decade of dominance, they called it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And where all things Norwich come into it with me, the host goes out of the window and the blue heart takes over. And I had a moment where the blue heart took over. I don't quite remember what I said, but I'm told, and I haven't watched it back yet, that I said, for a decade of dominance, you're exactly where we left you. A club in the Championship.
So these people on Twitter have said they'll make that let's make it into a banner for Derby Day, which I think is a great idea.
It's just true though, isn't it? You are where we left you. Absolutely nowhere. Bless. Never mind. They had 10 years of good times, getting beat, by Suarez several times, if memory serves me correctly.
Suarez loved playing against Norwich, didn't he? Bagging a hat trick.
Everyone loved playing against Norwich, Rich.
Yeah.
Everyone. And Nathan Broadhead and co will do the same exactly as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just ashamed it's not like this week. I think we're bagging form.
I said that on the show last night. Isn't it a shame that we're not playing them in this purple patch right now? Because I think we've put them to the absolute sword.
Don't worry. Set up your Christmases, guys, because it's probably just a week before, isn't it?
Woo, get that Christmas playlist out after that Norwich win.
That week before Christmas, I've got Watford, then Norwich, then Leeds. 3 family connections. I could have a great Christmas or an absolute terrible Christmas. Nowhere in between. So, all the best, boys. Good luck. But there we go. We're done for tonight. We're back on Saturday for the match reaction show. But he is Mr. We Are Legit, Matt Phillips, with a new haircut. Nice.
I think I'm back Friday night with the cricket show. I think we're doing a cricket.
Starts
tomorrow, Matt. Are you working from home tomorrow?
I'm at home tomorrow.
Oh, 9:30. England, New Zealand.
It's back special.
Will you have it on and get the commentary from the radio?
I'll just have to have the radio on. I won't get anything done if I've got pictures. I won't get anything done. I'm too easily distracted. I think TMS are covering it all, aren't they? So
they've got every single game. Every single game is on.
I will enjoy listening to that. I love that.
Good. Thanks for watching, all. And that was, of course, the Cruncher Richard Moss. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and catch us at the weekend for a match reaction show.
Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. We're not far from 5,000. I think your 6,500, by the way, is that's a long way. You won't be wearing a Norwich shirt on any shows.
It's just as well, really. I didn't want to wear one in the first place, but good. Right,
that's why it went so high, isn't it? Really,
it is. Well, yeah, we always aim for the stars, and if you don't reach, you'll fall on top of the world. So, bit of Shakespeare for you there.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I thought went crazy from just the thought of you.